And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. From now until 5, we record live, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We are recording now, and then we'll post it up on YouTube later, so you can go by and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, and that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. Also today, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring Rochester, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, Alexandria, Virginia, and Milford, Pennsylvania, trying to get a better copy on our 100-watt friends. The audio of these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary switch. Also on the switch is our local receiver. And today, our local receiver is running 2 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary switch, and position 3 is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. Well, those are our working conditions. How about yours? This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, and as per usual, we'll check in and see if CHARLEY-K1GZL is with us to give us the current day prognostications for the conditions of the band. Charlie, go ahead.
Okay, Jim, and good afternoon to you on this, I believe this is the 8th day, yes, 8th day of November. At 3:32 in the afternoon, K1GZL. Well, it looks like winter up here. The present temperature outside is 21 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees. We're getting off and on snow, heavy downpours of snow. Then the sun will break out, and then we go back into that again. Yesterday we picked up 3 inches of snow. And today, so far, it looks like 2.5 inches, so the whole event has been 5.5 inches of snow. So, the low this morning with wind blowing, it was 17 degrees. 17 degrees, and the low tonight should be about 12 to 16, then slowly clearing toward morning, with a possible moderate snowstorm hitting us Monday night and Tuesday. So we may have our permanent snow cover for the season, although the weather is erratic to the point you never know. Okay, Jim, I'll turn it back over to you. And just to give you an idea, you're really coming in 15:20 over 9 direct from your location. Here it is.
Check in and see if CHARLEY-K1GZL is with us to give us the current day prognostications for the conditions of the band. Charlie, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Jim. K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I was receiving you about 10 over on my mag loop antenna, my north and south mag loop antenna, but then I checked out Rochester, and you were giving them about a 15 or so hotter, well, 15 over their noise level, so I switched over to Rochester, and just absolute perfect copy there. And you know, it's amazing. I thought that only water would affect the resonance of a magnetic loop antenna, but as per usual, I usually Friday morning go out and double check the tuning for my 2 10-foot mag loop antennas, and well, gosh, it's it hasn't rained in a little while, and it's only the temperature that's really fluctuated lately, and that one my mag loop 2, which has been a problem child from the beginning, was running about 1.6 SWR, and I did tune it, and it went down to about 1.4, but usually I try to keep those around 1.2, 1.3. They, that's such a high Q circuit that, you really want to get that SWR down so you can take advantage of the very, very narrow resonance of that, mag loop antenna situation. So, like I say, you were coming in about 10 to 12 dB over my noise level locally. Roger.
Over my noise level locally. Roger.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm getting a little bit more output up on this frequency since it's gotten cold. Anyway, this is K1GZL returning. The amazing thing is when the temperature gets below freezing, I get a little lower SWR, and I get a little bit more output, especially up on this frequency. My antenna performs better when it's cold. However, when it's raining, it's not so good. Not so good when it's raining. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to cut my amp out. You can see how well if I'm coming in. I'll be down to 40 watts. 40 watts right now. Okay, Jim, I'm running 40 watts. I'd be curious how well 40 watts is coming in, and I'll put about 1350 out right now. Here we go. Okay, Jim, KC9VKV, K1GZL, and obviously propagation was good. It was wonderful into Australia this morning.
Roger, Charlie. Well, believe it or not, there was no difference in your audio modulation level. Your audio modulation level stayed the same, although there was an increase in the background noise. Probably went from about a 15 over to about a 7 over the noise, and then there was some fading, a little bit of fading, which with your higher power, you managed to saturate the signal enough that slight fading doesn't even show up at all. But when you went to reduce power, you could tell just a little bit of a fading situation, Roger.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. That is the way it goes. Propagation was right.
I was working E, and of course he's running stacked two stacked Robics, one at 70 feet and one at 130 feet. And of course that's E and VK3 Mexico, Ontario. And he's copied me solid on half a watt, although I've worked a few other VKs down there that have also copied me on a half a watt of power. That's as low as the 7300 will go. And that flabbergasted me because my antenna, I have no antennas that favor Australia except my 20-meter quad, 4-element quad with a quaggy horizontal director right out in front of the middle of the second director on 20 meters. That's aimed a little dot east of Australia, but close. Very, very close, and I've gotten some low power checks there. However, 20 is not that consistent in the early morning into BK like 40 is now. So 40 has really taken over the conditions. Right now, as I talk to you, light snow is falling. It's back out again, and yet at the same time, I can see the sun breaking through the clouds. We get these low clouds that hang over the area, and it's called upsloping. We have a wind from the northwest today, and that hits the hills to our west, and it rises up and squeezes out. Yesterday I climbed a ladder. I was up to about 24 feet trying to adjust ropes, and it was snowing hard. Just a little around noontime, and just 4 miles from here to the west, 900 feet lower, it was spitting snow with perfectly bare ground, and at that time we had already had 2 inches of new snow. So elevation is absolutely everything when you're in the mountains, Jim. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger, Charlie. Now, I did switch over a little bit to the Milford, PA SDR, and, for some reason I've been having to crank in a .06 a higher frequency than a straight 7188. And I'm not sure what that was, but I thought I detected last Friday that the frequency was coming back to maybe a little closer to 7188. So this afternoon I only cranked in 0.03 additional for Milford, and I noticed that it did sound off, so I went back and had to crank in another 303. So it's probably a 0.06 I'm running now on that SDR, but I did have to leave my air chair for a moment to go over and make a correction on one of my SDR internet receivers to make that modification. But anyway, finally got that frequency to, and what happens is when the frequency's not right, you know, the tonality of the voice either drops down or goes up depending on which way the frequency is off. So I forgot now exactly which way it was, but I know 0.06 cured the problem. Roger?
0.06 cured the problem. Roger?
Roger, if you were listening on 88 and you were listening on 0.06, my voice would have been down here, further down, I'm sure. That would have been the case. Well, this is great working you there. It's winter wonderland. The snow is pretty well on the trees here, and light snow is falling. I think we'll probably get another half inch today, bringing it up to 6 inches. So that means we've had just a little over 7 inches for the season, and that's way behind normal. Normally October you get 10 or 15 inches. We had none. Absolutely no snow in October, and I've been up here since 1982, and I have never seen that before. Well, look, Jim, I don't want to tie up the frequency here. I want to thank you. And let's hope we have good propagation next week. The fact we are on standard time means the skip is going to be averaging longer this time of day than it would have on daylight time. And of course, you're far enough out there in southern Indiana near Louisville, Kentucky, that it will increase out your way, but I might start skipping over Milford and Rochester in pretty short order. But obviously, propagation is good enough that it's making it. Okay, Jim, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure, and I certainly hope that you don't get too cold out there. I know it's probably sunny out there, and I would guess that you're going to see some very low temperatures over the next few nights. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Yes, it is a little chilly this morning when I was out working on those mag loops, and I did notice the chill in the air, so I was trying to get the job done pretty as quick as possible. Anyway, thanks for the report on the band conditions and all that, and as always, a pleasure. So I'll say threes to Charlie, and we'll catch you maybe next Friday. Roger.
We'll catch you maybe next Friday. Roger.
Roger on that. Mike W. operating remote broke in very well. So if you want to work, Jim, for a while, I'll pick you up. Say you're down around 7150 plus or minus, Mike. Is that all right?
And good evening to you, Jim. Good afternoon. Name here is Mike. QTH here is in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, real close to Pittsburgh. I'm actually mobile, but I am cheating. I'm remote mobile. I'm running my Android phone, running my rig at home. I'm running a 7300 at home, and I'm running about 500 watts from the 7300 into the vertical. So I'll say good day to you, and then I'll QSY down to you, Charlie, down on 150. 73s, Jim. Have a great day.
Roger. Mike, like I said, I was copying Charlie on the Rochester SDR, and it's really strange because I thought you were there, but I couldn't hear you, so I went over to my local, and you just take my head off. It's amazing how the signals kind of proportion themselves in different directions, Roger.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I have a location down in Weirton, West Virginia, which is only 50 miles west of me. And it is interesting to see just how well, I'll hear Charlie sometimes. I won't hear him in Pittsburgh, but I'll hear him Q5, if not stronger, just 50 miles away. So interesting conditions. And 73s, I'll let you go. Take care and carry on, and good to hear you, Jim. So we'll talk to you maybe next week. KC9VKV, Whiskey Alpha 3 Oscar, remote mobile.
Roger, Mike 3's that way. Your remote situation sounds really good. We've got that down to science, and beautiful copy there. And like I say, it just, it doesn't seem possible that I couldn't copy you, not a tad even in Rochester, but I flipped over to my local loop, and the signal was like 20 over my noise level. And I just had to grab I have a little trim pot that I just run all the time for the incoming, and I made a mad dive for it to bring it down, but I think we did have a couple of nanoseconds too hot of audio before I could get it. Anyway, 3's there, Mike, and you have a good day. Thanks for dropping by. This is the Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor Qso-Vlog network. From now until 5, we are recording live. And if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page. And on that page, you'll be looking for one Qso-Vlog entitled My Group Air Check 11/8/19, which is today's date. My Group Air Check 11/8/19. This is the KC9VKV Qso-Vlog network, and we are listening.